Emmanuel is a man of multiple graces whose influence covers leadership, business, and relationship sphere. He is an analytic pastor, bestseller author, delightsome conference host, astute businessman, shrewd entrepreneur, informed investor, international public speaker, and a wealth curation agent. He sits on the board of numerous businesses, some of which he directly manages. Some of these businesses are Common Sense Limited, a group of businesses with keen interest in real estate publishing, consulting, tourism, training, etc. Fingerprint Investment Club, FIC, Parable Ventures Limited, PVL, Wealth Creation Network, WCN, Dynamite Forum International, DFI, and NGO, amongst many others. He is the host of numerous conferences and seminars, including the popular Wisdom for Singles, Wisdom for Couples, and the How To seminars, How to Be a Best-Selling Businessman. Olumide is also the host of the weekly Sunday Business and Leadership School, SBLS. His daily and weekly media broadcasts are a delight to many. He has received numerous awards from his impacts both in religion and secular arenas. He is married with children. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our distinguished Olumide Emmanuel to World Summit 2020.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a wonderful honor and privilege to be a part of this World Summit. I'm always excited when I have an opportunity to share with people, especially in the area of wealth creation, because of the experiences I've had as an individual. When I was being interviewed outside by the press people, one of the questions they asked me was, what are my expectations for this event? And I told them my expectation for this event has already been met because the event is taking place. Because as far as I'm concerned, I want to see every Nigerian come into that place in their life where they know what they need to know so that they can do what they need to do to become what they need to become. So I'm so grateful to God for the opportunity we have to come today. And I'm thankful for all the great things that has been happening so far. I'm happy I came early. So I've been listening to some wonderful presentations since I came. And I've been receiving refresher courses. Okay, so you're welcome to the Real Money of Lagos, courtesy of Pertinence Group. I want to also appreciate my sons and proteges, Wisdom and Olorun Sheyi, for the great work they are doing. Like I said, on different platforms, every time we have events, it's one thing for you to teach people, it's another thing for them to respond to the teaching and actually put it to work and produce results. So I'm very proud of what is happening in them and through them. And I believe that as a result of this experience today, many more millionaires and billionaires will rise up so that we can help change the situation in our great nation and on the continent. Well, I've been asked to come and talk about cultivating a wealth mindset. So I welcome every one of you for coming. I believe very strongly that for you to see the advert or for you to be invited and to decide to come, it simply means that you have a desire to be transformed. Because many people saw the advert, but they are not here. Many people have the opportunity to be here, but they are busy doing something else that they consider to be more important than being here. So for you to be here, I believe very strongly that you will become a testimony of this encounter. Now, when I saw the topic they gave me to talk about, they wanted me to talk about cultivating a wealth mentality. And that's not something we can deal with within the confines of the time that we have, because that's going to take me like 4 hours to take you through cultivating a wealth mentality. So what I've decided to do is to just focus on one aspect, one module of cultivating a wealth mentality. That aspect I'm going to be focusing on is called developing investment mentality. So I want to talk to you in the next 30 minutes on developing investment mentality, because that's the engine, that's the trigger, that's the catalyst, that's the foundation of wealth altogether, because true wealth begins from the inside. Like Olorun Sheyi said when he was trying to wrap up his presentation, making $1 million is not the problem. Believing you can is the real problem, because a lot of us, like Bankole also said, it's actually a mindset issue. Once you believe you can, then half of the job is already done. A lot of people just don't believe that good things can happen to them. A lot of people just don't believe that they are qualified to be rich and to be wealthy. They think that wealth and riches is synonymous to some group of people, but that's not true. Everyone can be wealthy. Everyone can be rich. But not everyone will be wealthy and not everyone will be rich, because not everyone will do what they need to do. And I'm trusting that as a result of this encounter today and the inspirations you're receiving, you will not just desire it, you will not just have intention to do, you will actually go ahead and begin to do something from today, because 1,000 good intention is not as powerful as one action. So I want to talk to you on developing investment mentality. Now, developing investment mentality is the engine for wealth creation. No matter how beautiful a car is, no matter how wonderful the upholstery is, no matter how awesome the gadgets and the electronics in that car is, if the car does not have an engine, it's not going anywhere. So you need to understand that the engine for wealth creation is having an investment mentality. Investment mentality is also the trigger for wealth creation. You can have a loaded gun, but until you pull the trigger, you will not be able to see results. So investment mentality is not just the engine, but it's also a trigger. Because once you have investment mentality, even if there is no physical change on the outside, there is already a change on the inside, because true wealth begins from the inside. It begins with a new software becoming the program that runs the affairs of your life. Number 3, developing investment mentality is the catalyst for wealth creation. Catalyst, when added to a chemical reaction, speeds up the chemical reaction. When you have investment mentality, it becomes a catalyst for wealth in the sense that it guides and shapes your choices and your decisions. I have had opportunities where we have presented to people immediate cash or a wealth creation asset. And people have chosen immediate cash instead of a wealth creation asset. Why? Because of their mindset. As far as they are concerned, let me get what I can get now. However, what we are offering them as an alternative is not just a wealth creation asset, but it's an asset that will continue to bring cash flow into their life on a consistent basis. But because of the software that is running their mind, they would rather have what they can take now instead of getting something that can continue to produce for them. Number 4, developing investment mentality is the foundation for wealth creation. For anything that needs to be built, the foundation is very, very important. The foundation of anything is the most important part of that. The foundation of a building is the most important part of the building. The foundation of a relationship is the most important part of the relationship. So when we talk about developing investment mentality, we are talking about the foundation for wealth creation. Because once that is in place, it gives you the foundation to begin to build a life of wealth that will turn things around for you. So in the world that we live in today, a lot of people are poor and they are in financial lack and hardship as a result of lack of investment mentality. That investment mentality not being there is the reason why many people are poor. That investment mentality not being there is the reason why a lot of people are in financial hardship. Why? Because they have a lot of things that are contending with that particular mindset in their life. So in order for you to be able to be all that you need to be and create true wealth, you need to have investment mentality. Now, investment mentality must be consciously, intentionally, and deliberately developed by anyone who really wants to become financially free. No one will plan your life for you if you don't plan it for yourself. So in order for you to really become wealthy, you must have investment mentality. But like I said, it's developing investment mentality. So it's not automatic. You're not born with it. You got to understand that you have to intentionally, consciously, deliberately tell yourself, my life cannot remain like this. I can't continue to live like this. Something must give way. Listen and listen well. If your ancestors have failed you, you cannot afford to fail your descendants. Those that have gone ahead of you may have made mistakes. Let the mistakes of their life become the inspiration for your future. So make up your mind and tell yourself, I'm going to be that which I want to be, that which I desire to be. I'm going to be the best version of me, and I'm going to pay the price to make it happen. So you've got to be intentional. in order for that to become a reality. Now, when we talk about developing investment mentality, in order for you to effectively do that, you must eradicate the toxic mindset that limits people. And there are 5 toxic mindsets that limits people and hinders them from being able to develop investment mentality. And I want to deal with that as we move on into the second phase of my discussion with you today. So there are 5 toxic mindsets that must be eradicated. When you look at people and you see them not being where they are supposed to be, there is something hindering them. Most of the time, the questions you ask determines the answer that you get. So for instance, the problem with a lot of people is the question they're asking. Most of the time they're asking the question, what must I do to be rich? What must I do to be wealthy? That's a good question, but that's not the best question. You know why? Because no matter what you do, if you do all the right things and the environment or the mindset is wrong, you won't get the results you're supposed to get. So for instance, if we have an electric appliance, now there's a keyboard right here on the stage. If you have an electric appliance and that electric appliance is not plugged to electricity, but you are pressing the play button, will it play? No. You press forward, will it go forward? No. So there is nothing wrong in the button, but there's something wrong in the process. So most of the time we think, that's why people are frustrated. And all these things they're saying is a lie. I have tried it didn't work. I did that, it didn't work. It's not what you did, it's who you are. Your mindset is messed up. You can have poverty mentality and save, but you will save in MMM instead of saving in real estate. Why? Because your poverty mentality will move you in the direction of greed. But when you have investment mentality, it will move you in a different direction. So it's all about what is there. So the question you need to ask is, why am I not rich? Why am I not wealthy? Because once you ask the right question, why am I not rich? Why am I not wealthy? You suddenly begin to discover some habits, some behaviors, some lifestyles, some attitudes, some limitations, some impediments that are hindering you. And once you remove that, automatically, you now become set to begin to produce results in the right direction. So there are 5 toxic mindsets that you must eradicate. Number 1, you must eradicate nomadic mentality. Nomadic mentality. Now, nomads are like cattle rearers and cattle grazers. They go from place to place. What's a nomadic mentality? A man, a woman, or an individual with nomadic mentality is not fixed. They go from place to place. Just like nomads. You see the nomads, they take all their cattle and then they move from one part of the country to another part of the country. And guess what? As they are moving around, they are eating everything they did not plant. They are destroying everything they did not erect. And they don't have any fixed assets on the ground. They're just moving from place to place. So a nomadic mentality will hinder you because you find yourself moving from job to job. There are many of you sitting down here right now. You have spent 15 years in the marketplace. But in the last 15 years, you have done 15 things. If you have spent 5 of those 15 years being focused on your area of strength, you won't be where you are today. So nomadic mentality is jumping from place to place, listening and listening well. I'm so convinced that if you discover purpose and you find your passion and you know exactly what you need to do and you give 5 years of concentrated attention to that, you will succeed. But the problem is when we give 1 year and we don't see results, we go to something else. So many of you are sitting down here right now. If I ask you, how many things have you done to make money? There'll be a whole page. You have done barbing salon. They say, no. It's this one that is ready now. You join them. You are jumping from place to place like someone with a vagabond spirit. And you are wondering why nothing is working. So number 1 is what? Nomadic mentality. Today, you have a barbing salon. Before we get used to you as a barbing salon owner, you have become a perfume seller. Tomorrow, you are selling perfume. Before we know you are somebody selling perfume, now you are in travel and tours. Now you are in travel and so you find out that you are just jumping. It's a nomadic spirit. It's a mindset that does not make people to succeed. Jumping from job to job, career to career. And because you have that spirit, it affects your job. You are sitting down in a company and instead of you giving the best to that organization, you are using their Wi-Fi, you are using their laptop to apply to job in another company. How can you succeed? How? So you are here but you are not here because your mind is somewhere else. I used to have a guy that was working with our organization and he was working with us and he did not know that I know. This guy will just be complaining. This place salary. Or God does not believe in salary. He will just be complaining. 1 year, nothing changed. 2 years, he will be applying to job, using my computer to apply for job, using my Wi-Fi to apply for job. After 3 years, my GM came to me. I said, you know what? Let me help him. Go and call him. So I sat him down. I said, I know what you have been doing for the past 3 years. I said, but has anything worked? I said, give this organization 1 year of your undivided attention and just believe me when I tell you that's what to do, and you'll see results. In 1 year, he became not just a valuable staff to himself, he became someone that now had 2 cars in 1 year. He didn't steal money, 2 cars in 1 year. And he put the cars out for transportation. When the money from the transportation business started coming, he had to resign to face his own business. That was somebody that was jumping from one place to the other before. Number 2, consumer mentality. You need to eradicate consumer mentality. A lot of us are where we are today because we are consumers. Ask yourself, all the money that came into your life last year, where is it? Many of you sitting down here right now, you have handled 10 million before. You have handled 100 million before. You have handled 1 million before. You have handled multiple millions before. But where is the million now? You kept consuming, you kept consuming, you kept consuming. We hear of first world, second world, third world nation. The creator did not create different nations. The creator did not create different worlds. There is only one world. But why are some nations called third world nations? They are called third world nations because they are consumer nations and they are not producer nations. When you are more of a consumer than a producer, you relegate yourself to the third dimension of nations. So you've got to make up your mind. I don't want to just be a consumer anymore. Every money that comes into you are just consuming. Many of you are sitting down here right now. You have 3 mobile phones like a 419. 3 mobile phones, yet you don't have any shares in any of those companies. You say, I want to buy this one. I want to buy Samsung. I want to buy iPhone. I want to buy this. I want to buy. You are buying phone. Why are you buying it? All you do with the phone is to make calls. And there are over 36 things the phones can do. You've never done anything with that. But yet you want to buy a phone of 300,000. Ordinary half plots you don't have. Your grandfather was a tenant. Your father is a tenant. Now you are a tenant. You are saying it's a generational curse. It's not a generational curse. It's a generational choice. So you've got to leave that realm of just being a nomad. Move from nomad and move into investment mentality. Don't be a consumer. Nino lowo. It ends in shame. There are people in this world that have made so much money, but when you look at them today, the money is nowhere to be found. We know of many people that are celebrity beggars. They used to make money, they are everywhere, but when they are sick, ordinary 1 kidney problem, they are raising 2 million online. Where are all the millions they have made? Something has gone wrong somewhere. Number 3, victim or entitlement mentality must go. If you are going to become wealthy and develop investment mentality, you must eradicate victim and entitlement mentality. Nobody owes you anything. It's your life. What is the government doing? What is the... Let me ask you a question. All the money you have made, has Buhari ever come to collect money from you? So who spent the money? You. So why are you blaming people for what you have acquired? So make up your mind. I'm not going to be a victim anymore. It's because I'm a youth. There are youth making it. It's because I'm a woman. There are women making it. It's because I'm a minority. There are minorities making it. It's because I'm an orphan. There are orphans making it. There is no excuse you can give that can be tenable in the world of wealth creation, because excuses are trademarks of failures. When people succeed, they blame themselves. When they fail, they blame their lecturer. They say the lecturer failed me. So you've got to do what? You've got to make up your mind to eradicate what? Victim mentality. You are not a victim, you are a victim. Number 4, you have to eradicate salary mentality. You have to eradicate salary mentality. Salary is synonymous with slavery. There is nothing wrong earning salary, but please don't die there. There's nothing wrong earning a salary, but please make up your mind that you are not going to spend all your life earning salaries. Your grandfather worked in Nigerian Railway. Your father worked in Nigerian Airways. Now you are in Nipos. It's not a generational curse. It's a generational choice. So you've got to make up a salary mentality. Salary. In Yoruba, they call it salary. You are just looking for 30 days, make one pay. No. Rich and wealthy people don't become rich and wealthy by earning salaries. So if you are earning salary, there's nothing wrong in that, but you've got to make a plan on how you can get out of that realm. And number 5, you have to eradicate materialism mentality. Most of what we call prosperity today is materialism corrupted. Many people are poor because their mindset is all about materialism. You want to blow, you want to buy house, you want to buy car. Have you forgotten all the people that made money? All the Yahooze boy, Yahoo, all the Yahooze, Oma, the where are they today? Where are all the people that made money? Where are they today? Hello? Where are they today? So you've got to tell yourself, I'm not going to be into materialism mentality. Just acquiring things. How do you explain it? That you are renting a house for 8 million per annum as a tenant, and you park a 12 million naira Jeep in the front of a 8 million naira rented apartment. Who did this to you? Who did this to you? In Lagos today, the illiterate are the landlord, the educated ones are the tenants. Who did this to you? And your landlord is calling you Oga tenants. How can you park a 12 million naira car in a rented apartment and you don't know that something is wrong with you? Who did this to you? Materialism mentality. You want to buy 3 cars, you want to buy 5 cars, you want to show them false prosperity, package going nowhere. Many people today are like penguins. You remember penguin? Penguin is a bird that wears tuxedo with bow tie and is not going anywhere. So you see a lot of people package everything artificial hair, artificial eyelashes, artificial everything. Ordinary half plots you don't have. Listen to me, you are not what you wear, you are what wears you. You are not what you drive, you are what drives you. You can buy a lot of things with money, but there are many things that money cannot buy. Money can buy you a bed, but it cannot buy sleep. Money can buy you a house, it cannot buy you a home. Money can buy food, it cannot buy the appetite to eat. Money can buy you a woman, but it cannot buy you a wife. Money can buy you a designer suit, but it cannot buy you the fitting and the courage to carry the suit. So you've got to understand that materialism is part of the reason. Why do you want to prosper? I just want to have money. I just want to blow. I just want to show that you will not have it all. The only way to have money is to be willing to give, is to be willing to share, is to be willing to raise, is to be willing to impart. You make money when you offer values. So let's move on. So what then? Once we eradicate this mindset, what then is investment mentality? An accurate definition and understanding of investment mentality will help you to develop it. I give you 3 definitions. Number 1, investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about the multiplication of all that you have. Investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about the multiplication of all that you have. So what does it mean to have investment mentality? Every time money comes into your hand, you are thinking of how to multiply the money. The thought of the diligent tends only to plenteousness. So when you have 10,000, you are thinking, how can I turn this 10,000 to 30,000? When you have 1 million, you are thinking, how can I turn this 1 million into 3 million? But those that do not have investment mentality, when they have money, the first thing that comes to their mind is, let's consume it. I'll be able to buy that shoe. I'll be able to buy that eyelashes. I'll be able to buy that shoe. So you find out that because people don't have investment mentality, when money comes, instead of multiplying the money, they consume the money. They consume the money. So they say, one careless money came into my hand last week, There are no careless money, only careless people. So number 1 is what? It's a mindset. It's a mindset that is concerned about what? The multiplication of all that you have. Once you begin to think of what to do with the money, to multiply the money, creativity flows, inspiration flows, opportunity begins to come around you. Your eyes begin to open up. Do you know that when you make up your mind that you are going to buy a Toyota Camry red, a red Toyota Camry, the very minute you make up your mind you want to buy a red Toyota Camry and you desire to buy a red Toyota Camry, what happens? You will start seeing red Toyota Camry everywhere. Why? Because that's the way your mind works. Your mind is the engine of your destiny. So in your mind, if you are thinking, how can I multiply money? The very minute you start thinking like that, you'll be seeing different advert that has been existing that you did not see. You'll be seeing things in the newspaper that you did not see. You'll be hearing things. When you go online, your consciousness opens up to a different portal. Why? Because you now have the right kind of mindset. Number 2, investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about the acquisition of assets and not liabilities. Investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about the acquisition of assets and not liabilities. You are poor or rich depending on whether you have assets or you have liabilities. What's an asset? An asset is anything that appreciates in value and brings cash flow into your life. What's a liability? A liability is anything that depreciates in value and takes money out of your life. So you need to ask yourself, am I acquiring assets or am I acquiring liabilities? Many people are poor today. Why? Because every time money comes into their hand, they convert their money into liabilities, all in the name of fashion. They convert their money into liability, all in the name of branding. They convert their money into liability, all in the name of packaging. Listing and listing well. No matter how much you package a dead body, it will smell. It's only a matter of time. So you've got to make up your mind. You are sitting down here right now. Many of you, your bungalow is in your wardrobe. Your bungalow is in your wardrobe. You are bag and shoe to match, yet your destiny is not matching your bank account. And then you are wondering, last year alone, you have spent 2 million on Christmas holiday. One plot you don't have. Your grandfather was a tenant. Your father is a tenant. Now you are a tenant. He says it's a curse in our village. It's not a curse. It's a generational choice. It's a generational choice. You've got to make up your mind that what they did not do, I will do. What they did, I will do differently. Make up your mind. Begin to acquire assets. Now they are telling you, come and buy land, come and buy this. And many of you, you will just be sitting down there. Are you sure? That's what you said 11 years ago. See where your life be 11 years later. So you've got to make up your mind. I want to acquire assets. Some of you, the money they are telling you to drop now, you have the money. I will never forget Bimbo as long as I live. Bimbo was my account officer in GTB in 2003. When I went to Bimbo to introduce to her our real estate in Ikorodu, I told her, Bimbo, Martin Tale, Pastor Tale, multi-real estate company, 200,000 Ikorodu, 200,000. Bimbo looked at me and said, Pastor, 200, I'm going to fellow London, no, fellow summer. And Bimbo refused to buy the land of 200,000. I said, Bimbo, this is an opportunity for you to own land. You are not married, you are a young girl. This land, you already have the money. The land is real. Buy it, you'll be amazed. 5 years' time, 10 years' time, things will change. Okay, let me go and think about it. Bimbo never bought the land. 2 years later, the land had become 800,000. I was talking to Bimbo about helping us to market. He said, which land is this one? I said, he could. He said, is it not the one you told me? I said, yeah. I said, it's not 800. He said, 800? He said, Kedema, whoa. She now started telling me this. So he said, the London she went to with that money, that she landed in London, 2 days later she fell sick. She was on drugs and being treated for like 10 days, and she only spent 2 extra days to relax before coming back. So the London was a useless journey. By the time I met her 2 years later, she was still not owning a plot of land. So listen and listen well. When you have investment mentality, every time you see an opportunity, every time you see things like this, you grab it. Number 3, what's investment mentality? Investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about bringing you to a level in your life where you will no more work for money, but money will work for you. There's nothing wrong working for money, but don't die there. Why? Because your active life, the active season of your life is not forever. There's coming a time when you will not be able to run and jump and do all the things you are doing right now. So wisdom demands that as you begin to make money, you move into a realm where you are no more working for money, but money begins to work for you. Now think about it. I'm standing before you right now. In the last 4 or 5 years, our company has gone through a lot of crisis. Why? Because the economy has affected a lot of things. But do you know what? Regardless of all the crisis we have gone through, all the real estate we have in billions are still there appreciating. Just there, just appreciating. One of the reasons why I'm able to be where I am today is because I have put systems and structures in place. Properties, rental income in different dimensions, different streams of income. So no matter how bad things are, if this one will not work, this one will work. So you need to understand, I just came in from Benin today. I know how much I made. It was just in one session. I'm here now. I'm not here for money, but I will make something. Because my books are out there. School of Money is out there. Pathway to Wealth is out there. Real Estate Park is out there. My products are out there for you to buy. Once I leave here now, 7 o'clock, I'm on the flight. I'm going to Ghana. 3-day School of Money conference. 3-day School of Money conference. By the time I come back again, money. So how do you do it? It's because you have put systems and structures in place. So investment mentality is a mindset that is concerned about bringing yourself to a level where you will no more work for money, but money will work for you. So how do you know, as I begin to close, how do you know whether you have investment mentality or not? Just answer one question. What do you do with your money? When money comes into your hand, what do you do with it? There are only three things you can do with money. Number one, you can waste it. Number two, you can spend it. Number three, you can invest it. Foolish people waste money. Average people spend money. Wise people invest money. You have heard of Realvest. You have heard of PettySafe. You have heard of the houses being sold in PTL. You've heard all the things, and you are sitting down there and asking yourself, what do I need to do? What you need to do now is to act now. Go out there, ask them, if I cannot enter this one, I can enter this one. If I cannot enter this one, I can enter this one. Listen and listen well. All that we are doing is putting systems and structures in place for you to become wealthy. Your mother, your father, your grandmother, your great-grandmother used to save money in Kolo. They brought the Kolo to you. I said the guy should have brought Kolo Alamo. You know, the one with clay. They brought the Kolo, but now we have carried that Kolo now and we have put it into the contemporary world. 1,000 a day. In 1 year, you have 365,000. Even if it's 1,000 a month, in 1 year, you have 12,000. Many of you looking normal now, need 12,000. You don't have 12,000. Many of you now, ordinary 12K you don't have. But you are sitting there looking normal. Hello? If it's 5,000 a month, 5,000 a month in 1 year is 60K. Many of you here, need 60K. So who is fooling who? You can package for anybody, but the real you know yourself. Your grandmother, your great-grandmother, they didn't go to school. Yeah, these are the principles they are practicing. Every day, they save 200 naira. The woman will come and collect. Iyalajo, they do a susu. 12 people will come together. They build houses. Now, you have gone to all the school. Common sense you don't have. So the question now is, foolish people waste money. Average people spend money. Wise people invest money. So are you a fool? Or an average person? Or a wise person? I close by asking you a question. How will your death be announced? Because everybody will die one day. At whatever age you desire to die. How will your death be announced? There are only two ways to announce death. The first one is, with deep sorrow of heart, we announce the sudden demise of our father, grandfather, great-grandfather. By the time you hear an advert of that, a poor man has died. Because the death of a poor man is always sudden, even if he's 85. The sudden demise, the sudden demise. A man has been around for 50 years, 70 years, is still sudden. Why? Because they are waiting for him to make it. They are waiting for him to make it. 60 could make it, 70 could make it, 80 could make it, Okule 83, all of a sudden. When you go to the burial, you will see weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. You will see a wife with 6 children, 7 children, 11 children. Why? Because poor people give birth to children like sardine, as if they are trying to win an award. Taking it, and if this one don't make her, this one go make her. Just give him birth. Every year your wife is pregnant and you are not ashamed. Every year your wife is pregnant. Every year all your achievement is to impregnate a woman. That's the achievement of your life. And when you go there, you see people crying. You see the wife wailing. Why? Because most of the people you see crying at burial ground is not because of the loss of their dear ones. It's because of the responsibility they have left behind. So you are leaving me alone. There's a story of a woman, I don't know whether it's a comedy or a true life story, whose husband died. She came back on one day and saw a crowd in her compound. And they were telling her sorry. She said, why not they tell me sorry now? Sorry for waiting now. He said, sorry, sorry. So she entered. And the husband was lying on the floor. He said, madam, sorry. He said, what did he do? He said, he died. He said, you know if he died now. Mama Kelechi, he died with 6 children. You the Chris. You die. Who you leave 6 children for? Mama Kelechi, wake up! You the Chris. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! And the man came back to life. You want to die and leave me with 6 children. Grace catch you. So when you go to this burial, people are crying, they are weeping. Why? Because the man has died in poverty. But there's another way to announce death. With gratitude to God for a life well spent. We announce the transition into glory of our father, grandfather. When you go to that burial ground, nobody's crying. Nobody's crying, no crying, no weeping, nothing. By the time you get to the burial ground, the wife is there wearing designer skirt suit, police eyeglasses, Louis Vuitton bag, Ferragamo shoe, and she's having a goosey silk handkerchief, and 2 children. One boy, he came from Canada. One girl, she came from America. And then when you get there, you just see her there. Nobody's crying. Why? Why should you cry? The man that died has 2 houses in Lagos, 3 in Port Harcourt, 4 in Abuja, 6 in London, 8 in Canada, 1 in America. He has 2.6 billion worth of shares. He has $11 million in his American account. He has 850,000 naira in another bank in Nigeria. Why should she cry? Cry for what now? The other one, after burial, when you go, they will now carry the woman to the village, scrape her hair. They will say she's the one that killed the husband. Person with poverty kill. They will say, my wife kill her. But this second one, by the time you get to the house, it's Megad you will meet. They say, where's madam? Madam, you don't go Canada, you go rest. Madam, you don't go Canada, you go rest. So how will your death be announced? As you have come here today, you have heard it. The real money of Lagos is in the real people of Lagos. The real money of Lagos is in the real opportunity of Lagos. The real money of Lagos is in you. Go out there, maximize the opportunity, and I'll see you at the top. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the CEO Common Sense, Mr. Olumide Emmanuel. Can we please put your hands together for him?